This is Wade from HitechLegion, and this is the component installation for the Phantom 820, the newest case in NZXT's Phantom series. As you can see, the first thing that I've installed is the power supply into the case, which I did by placing it on the feet on the bottom and attaching 4 screws to it to hold it in place. This power supply is relatively small compared to what could be fit in here. There's approximately 8 inches of space that the PSU can sit on, and this one has 2 feet that it's not even sitting on because it's not that long. I installed an ATX motherboard into the case and pre-routed some of the power cabling and all the headers for the system. You can see that we have a large Pontec heatsink installed, and it fits very easily with the side panel on, even with the side fan installed, because it's well above where that side fan sits on the side panel. And it's pretty close to the exhaust fan on the rear, which means you wouldn't be able to add the third fan necessarily, but you'll get added airflow through that heatsink from the rear fan. Next, I installed an Nvidia Geforce 660 card by removing the blanks, the thumb screws and the blank plates from the back of the case, and then dropping the card into the PCI Express slot and reinserting the 2 thumb screws to hold it in place. I connected the 6-pin power cable that's required for it. Unfortunately, due to the length of the cables on this power supply, it can't be run behind the motherboard tray. And as you can see, I mean, this is a relatively short card, but there is a lot of room for additional length on the graphics cards. Next, let's install a 5 1/4 inch optical drive into the case. First, let's open the door, and then we'll pop the blank out of the top slot. Single click there, unlock the toolless connector, and pull on it so it flexes out. And we simply slide our drive in place into the tracks and line it up, and pop our toolless connector into place to lock it in. Then connect our cabling. Next, I'll show you how to install a hard drive into the case using the newly designed hard drive trays. First, we squeeze one of the trays to pull it out, and then we place our hard drive in it, lining up the holes, and then we simply flex the other side and line up the holes and squeeze it together to get the screws to hold it in place. Then we slide the tray back into the track and connect as usual with our cables. For a 2 1/2 inch drive, all we'd have to do is pull the drive tray out, line up our screw holes on our 2 1/2 inch drive with the 4 holes on the bottom of the tray, and tighten them down with some screws, and then we could slide the tray back into place for those as well. Last, I wanted to show you the built-in hue controller from NZXT. I've shut my lights off so you can get the full effect, and all we have to do is scroll the little wheel on the front panel, and we can adjust the coloring of the lights to our liking or mood for the day. Pretty much anything in the RGB spectrum. Green, yellow, orangey, and then back to red. And then there's a button that turns on white lights on the back of the case to allow you to get to see your I/O ports in the dark a little bit better if you're trying to hook something up. And here are the results from the OCCT CPU test for 30 minutes. And that is the completed component installation for the new Phantom 820 from NZXT. I hope you enjoyed the video, and for the full review, please see www.HitechLegion.com.